Hopefully all is well with everybody. If you are part of Patreon, especially SOC University, we posted some stuff for you in particular as far as classes are concerned. So feel free to go over there and get some stuff. We think you'll enjoy. I think you'll enjoy it heavily and mightily. We went over reparations. We had talked about reparations before already on the platform, but this is our first official class. We actually talked about it in sovereignty. So if you want to go through and look at our sovereignty stuff that's uploaded there. But let's go ahead and get started. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in Yahweh's sight. He is our strength and our redeemer. And it is in his name, which is his authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect tonight's message. Aman. Barakalat Sham Yahweh. I'm Kofi, the servant of Christ. Shalom. Hello, everybody. I am Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being the voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. On the road again, still on the road, trying to get some laundry and stuff done. So it is what it is. Prayerfully, all is well with you all. Thank you for being on all the platforms, whether you're joining us on YouTube, TikTok, or later on from Clapper tonight. We appreciate your presence so very much. I am back on the evening, praise y'all. So we're back on track with that. Prayerfully, you guys got a word from Minister Tamara yesterday evening. And those of you who were with us earlier, we appreciate you and thank you for being with us one more again. But how's everybody doing? How you doing, Sister Joy? How you doing, Gus? How you doing, Sister Shima? How you doing, Monica? How you doing, Darius? Ikime, excuse me. Feel like long time to talk to. Bradley, everybody, Big Brother Thomas. YAM Bad. How you doing? Everybody, Carrie. If I miss your name on any platform, shout to my head, not to my heart. How you doing, Brother Dwayne? Sister Deborah. Praise your Yahweh for you all. Tonight, our topic is we're going to jump right into it. But once again, we give all honor and praise to the Most High. We give all praise and honor to Him for my wife, the Honorable Alma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. And we thank you all so very much for joining us on this evening. Alrighty, so tonight we're going to talk about something very specific. Tonight we're going to just go right in. We're going to get it right in. And prayerfully you all are ready. So tonight our discussion is pretty easy. Tonight we're going to talk about mind your business. And I praise y'all because whenever we talk about this stuff, I always get like something that shows that we're going on the right path. Is somebody who literally becomes like an embodiment of what we're doing. And as I was getting set up, of course, somebody comes in. Oh, it seems like you're set up to DJ, blah blah, and then literally, sitting outside still or whatever, literally like trying to focus on me and all these moves and stuff or whatever, because I guess this person is, doing something else here, and whatever the case might be. So you know how people of a certain ilk will watch you or whatever. So this is for that person too. But today we're going to talk about mind your business. Praise y'all. And we praise y'all for the word of y'all being able to be said boldly. But when I say this tonight, and how you doing, Sister Tonight? When I say this tonight, I'm not talking about in the stereotypical way. How you doing, Mignon? I'm not talking about in the stereotypical fashion, right? When I say mind your business, I'm not talking about as far as what we say to other people, right? So other people will hear us and they'll hear this stuff and they'll be like, oh, well, you're, you in my business and that, whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about for you personally. Have you ever taken time out to mind your own business? And do you have a mind for your business? When it comes to the business of your life, how are you doing? Right? And are you disciplined under your own company called your business, your life? How you doing, Minister Stephen, right? How are you doing in that journey? If it's your business, for example, you would take inventory. If it was your business, you would see if you were in the black, if you were in the red. If it was your business, you would try to make sure that you have a mission statement, a vision statement, and all those items, right? You would take time out to see what was going on with your business, right? And some of us are in so much busyness that we haven't ever taken time out to have a conversation about our business, your business being your life. So what's going on with your life? What's going on with the mindset of your life? What's going on with the stuff that's going on in your life? How you doing, Brooklyn Zone? Dr. Eric Thomas says it like this: if you were going through all the stuff that you're going through, you were talking to all the people you were talking to, if you were going through, if somebody were to mess up on your job, you're so quick to be like, they should get fired. You're so quick to hold them accountable. You're so quick to say they're always late. You're so quick to talk about your spouse doesn't do this and do that or whatever. But do you ever do that with yourself? Where's the discipline with yourself? You see what I'm saying? So in the discipline for yourself, do you ever mind your own business? Right? Do you ever look at the stuff and say, I need to discipline myself? If I won't take that off them, I won't take it off me. Right? Have you ever taken time out to literally think about those things? If I won't take that off of somebody else, then I won't allow myself. I have boundaries for me. And if I see, because watch this, when you get to a place where you will not cross your own boundary, then you will never allow somebody else to cross that boundary either. But many of you have a tough time with others crossing your boundaries because you cross them all the time. Right? I'm going to try and say that again if I can. Right? Many of you have a problem, right, when it comes to your own boundaries or with others crossing the line because you are allowed to cross your own boundaries all the time. So it's difficult when somebody else is messing with your stuff to actually hold them accountable to what they're doing because you don't hold yourself accountable to the same standard. And if you will not hold yourself accountable to the same standard, then guess what? You can't, it's going to be, as much as you really want to, being double-minded and having cognitive dissonance in that area is really going to make it difficult. Yeah, check yourself before you check others. Back in the day, what they say, check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself, right? Y'all recall that? Maybe you don't, right? But, check yourself and see where your discipline is, right? A lot of people don't recognize this. When you start your own business, you have to mind your own business. Right? How you doing, Sister Jessica? How you doing, Joseph? If you're going to start a business, you got to mind it. So that means that every time that it's time to get up, it's not up. I got the alarm clock for somebody else. This is for me, right? And nobody's going to check on me. There's no evaluation. It's actually a scary place sometimes if you're not used to discipline or it's your first time. It's like moving out on your own for the first time, right? And you go out there and you get your first apartment, you get your first house. Maybe you're blessed enough to get that, but you usually get your first apartment, or maybe if you get into barracks like I was, the first place that I'm living is boot camp, and then first place by myself is not even by myself, it's in a barracks, which is basically a dorm. And then one day, and actually to be honest with you, I've never actually lived by myself because then end up getting married down the road, stuff like that. So I've never really actually lived by myself per se, but when my name was on the lease, you know what I'm saying? When it was my responsibility, it's a different ball game, and it's scary when you realize that everything's on you, and you have to really mind. It's not so if somebody walks into a dirty room, it's not because it's somebody else's dirty room, or it's not somebody's not watching over you. See, that was one thing when I was a child, right? When I was a child, I spake as a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You're dealing with a very similar thing, right? Where when I was a child, right, or when I was as a child, if I didn't clean my room, how you doing, Minister Morel? Somebody would say, they say to Mama Gretchen, they say, Gretchen, your son Kofi, he doesn't clean his room. Look at this. What are you not teaching him? Right? If my suit and tie weren't together when it was time to go to whatever event I was going to, they'd say, look at that. Nobody taught him how to iron. Nobody, look at the wrinkles and blah, blah, or he did it wrong, or who told him to iron his tie on that setting or to iron it at all. Look at how it's so shiny. They would always blame somebody else because it was always somebody else's responsibility. But when you get to a place where it's on you, that's your business now. That's your life now, right? And many people have not been taught how to ensure that they are about their business. So it's really easy for a lot of people. It's really easy for a lot of people to get to a place and in life to where they're able to always tell everybody else. And usually it's a sign, it's a reminder that usually what goes on with you is that you have had everybody else be in charge. And now you've been given something to be accountable for. And really, if I want to go deep, we could go existential, we can go biblical, we can go a lot of places, and I could talk about how it's not even really my life. I'm just charged with making sure I'm looking after it. Right? It's not even really my life. You could say that, right? but I'm still accountable for it, right? And so I have to watch how I mind my business. Once again, I have to watch the boundaries that I set for myself, because if I don't follow them, who will? You know what I'm saying? If I don't follow the boundary, who does? If I don't, if I don't pray, it's not going to be mama's going to remind you to pray, right? If I don't pray, I don't pray. It's not going to be, if I don't make sure that the trash is not taken out, it's not going to be daddy didn't get on you because you didn't take out the trash. And even still, if I'm having proper parenting, there's going to come a point in time to where proper parenting does what? Proper parenting is actually going to get me to a place to where dad's going to make sure that I'm already taking it out and I shouldn't have to wait on him, right? If you've ever played basketball before, you don't wait for coach to tell you to shoot 1,000 shots. It's too late then. You're supposed to already be shooting your 1,000 in between practice, in between games, so that if coach asks you to do something, it's easy already shooting the 1,000 shots that you did from different angles, from the free throw, from the elbow, doing the micing drill, making sure that you've done layup drills, doing stuff where you bouncing off the wall to yourself, doing a shimmy, doing a fadeaway, whatever you practice enough. So by the time you show up, really all you're doing is an extension of what you've already minded. I don't have to wait for the coach to remind me of something, because I'm always reminding myself. I'm always of the mind. I not only minded my own business, but I remind my own business. I'm constant and consistently. You see that? How you doing, sweetie Petey? Thanks for being part of the community. So I'm always reminded. I'm always going to a situation where I'm always thinking on that level. And thank you for coming over, Sister Shima. Appreciate you. I'm always thinking on that level, right? I'm always giving Yah glory on that level. I'm always giving him praise on that level. I'm always, you see what I'm saying? I'm not waiting for somebody else to remind me of something. You can't remind me of something that's not even in my mind. So I got to make sure that I'm what? Reminding myself. I remind my own business. And then watch this. I don't mind people who mind my business as well. Because some of you mind it when other people mind your business. So that's problematic. You don't like it when somebody comes and tells you. Now, it depends on who you are and what authority you've been given and how you do it. But if I have a circle, an inner circle, outer circle, mid circle, whatever circle, right? If I have some kind of sphere of influence, it means that people will influence me, which means that I need to find people who are about the same business that I am, right? So if you're about the same business I am, and therefore you want the best for us because we're working together as a community, as a team, as a nation, as a family, well, then I don't mind you minding my business. How you doing, Sister Cat? I don't mind you minding my business when you are about the same business that I'm a part of. See, this is why some of you can't listen to people who are minding your business, because you are around people who are not about your father's business. Like-minded people, exactly. That's kingdom sense. Come on, not common sense. You are not around enough people who are what? Not like-minded. So since you are not, how you doing, Erna? How you doing, Minister Tamara? So since you're not around people who are like-minded, you don't like it when they mind your own business. So what do you say? Mind your own business. But the reality is you're asking them to mind their own business because you're not around people who can mind your business, because your business is not their business. Some of you married people and never talk about the business of 30 years down the road. You've been dating and then you liked each other enough and said, well, maybe we'll make it last for 30 years. Problem is that you never discussed the business that you were going to get into. Some of us, we laid down with folk. Forgive me, I'm not trying to slut shame or anything like that. I'm just trying to have an honest dialogue, an honest conversation. Some of us, we laid down with folk and went in between folks' legs, or people went in between yours, right? And when that happened, whole child came out. And never once in the dating, never once in what was going on did we ever talk about the fact that there's a real possibility that a whole baby gonna come out of this. And we should be talking about family building, structure, nation. That's why in our culture we don't date. We don't date. We aren't taught this from other people, but that's why in our culture we do not date. Why do we not date? Because to date is something that's what? It comes with a date, an expiration date. You think that, hey, as long as everything goes all right today, maybe I'll see this person next time. Maybe I won't. Maybe they'll call me back. Maybe they won't. Why are you going with somebody that has no commitment to you at all, and then saying, I want to go ahead and use somebody who came to me with zero commitment to try and figure out how to make sure that, see if this person is the one for me to be committed to until death do us part? And how you doing, babe? My wife is on the Honorable Amma. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, our website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N. Bloom and Flourish. She's a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Love you, babe. Perfect timing. Was just talking about you, right? And us. This is real talk, right? I'm in a situation, if I'm not careful, to where I can't mind my business and can't allow others around me to mind my business because they're not about our business. You see that? How are you going to fix a whole nation when all you do is half fight whether one half is better than the other? How do you mind that business? Right? So how do you mind the business? How does somebody get to mind your business if they're not ready for your business? How does somebody mind your business if they're not ready for business? What is your business acumen with the business of life? What is your business acumen with the business of life? See, we tell you stuff like this all the time. What is your vision statement? What is your mission statement? What were you called to do before the foundations of the world? And what are you putting around yourself to ensure that that's your focus? I didn't say it can. I didn't say it can't be something. There's other things you can't think about. But see, here's the difference. Your 9 to 5 should never be your focus. Somebody says, "Well, no, I got to get to work." Blah blah. No, that's not what you. Now, some people are blessed that your 9 to 5 is your work. Praise God. But a lot of people, that's not. A lot of us got side hustles. A lot of us got a lot of situations, and it is what it is, right? We've taught to do this stuff and to kind of come outside of what's culturally relevant to us. That being said, though, right, the 9 to 5 is not my focus, right? I use the 9 to 5 to support the focus, right? Like the bills and all this stuff. How you doing, Sister Nadine? And all this things. How you doing, Brother Charlie? If I didn't say so already, Bruda, right? Like all these things. That's not my focus, right? Somebody says, "Well, that's why blah blah," and that's why no, like that's not my focus. Now, is everything always everything always perfect? Isn't that no? My family is all right. My family is blessed, and even with tough times that we go through, and if I be honest with you, we are going through. Um, Even with that being said, that's not my focus. I know that even these situations will catapult us to higher levels, and so anybody that's coming in my circle, especially in times where times are getting really rough, what you're trying to do to my family, whatever, cannot be my focus. Do you hear what I'm saying? What? Yeah, y'all over everything, and he has a mindset for me. He has a culture for me. He has culture reference. He has a thought process. He has a heart for me. He has a mindset. He wants me in all things that I do to prosper and have Taba success, right? He's already decided that everything that he does for me is for me to prosper, to push through it, and have great success. So it's not my focus, even on the bad things. And so anybody at this time in my life who's bringing some kind of, as you guys would probably, sorry, as many people would call it, I got to stop saying you guys. That's inappropriate. I apologize. I do that a lot. I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing that. As many people around us would say, right? I don't want that bad energy. I don't want an energy vampire. I don't want anybody in my business that can't handle this business, even when it looks like it's bad, right? My wife was somebody who spoke life into me when it looked like it was bad. She kept saying it's going to be better. She gave me boundaries. She said, you're going to have to, at some point, just going to have to provide. At some point, I'm going to need to know you have my back. Security, number one need for a sister, right? So look, I'm going to need security out of this at some point. But look, I support you. She would say things like, I see greatness in you. She would say things like, that everybody wouldn't see. She's the reason, I've told you this plenty of times before. She's the reason why I'm even on social media. She's the reason why we travel. If it wasn't for her speaking those things that aren't in my mind, right now, I saw them, but they weren't at that moment. But she was speaking those things that aren't as if they were. So in those things, I had somebody who was so into my business that even when she didn't necessarily know where it was going, she just kept speaking righteous things and sowing right where it needed to be. That's a wife. That's not just a woman. That's not a girlfriend. That's not all the stuff y'all be. That's a wife. Right? Before we lay down, speaking righteousness. You hear what I'm saying? That's a wife. That's a whole nother level. And so she can mind my business. Even when she gets, watch this, you need to hire some people sometimes, or have some people in your life, or have some friends and family that are allowed to get on your last nerve. But she can get on my nerves because she's proven that when she gets on my nerves, it's because she is really about what? My business. Because my business is her business. Right? That's why Bloom and Flourish stuff. My business is her business is my business. So when Bloom and Flourish does well, guess who's doing well? Come on, somebody, right? Even if you want to be selfish about it, when she's doing well, I'm doing well. And when I'm doing well, she's doing well. But now, here's the flip side of it. When she's not doing well, right, I want her to do well, which means that I'm willing to sacrifice to make sure that she's doing well, and vice versa. You catch it? When she's doing well, I'm doing well. And when I'm doing well, she's doing well. But even if she's not doing well, she got to get well, because when nobody else wanted to make sure I was well, she was about that business. So when I was out there and I was just coming off the street and I was trying to get my life together, and when she first saw me and she was coming in agreement, and when she was taking care of almost every bill, I'm not proud of it or whatever, but basically it was at one point where it might as well just been 100% her, and probably felt like it was 1,000% her at times. But because she was down when I was down, she was down for me when I was down, then I'm going to make sure that I'm down for her to bring her up, because she brought me up when I was down. So why would I not be down for her when times are down? And why would I not be up for her when times are up? Right. She submitted to the mission and I submitted to the mission. You see, but a lot of people are not in that type of relationship. Right. A lot of people are not about that business. That's not your business. Your business, you think that somebody shouldn't mind your business. The problem is you don't know how business works, because business is not about one person. Did you catch that? There's nobody in here who has a business. I know you keep hearing this stuff, but there's no such thing as a self-made anything, because somebody had to purchase your product. Yeah, a lot of people don't have that mindset, right? See, somebody got to purchase that product. Oh, everybody listen to me speak. Well, somebody had to listen to you speak. No, if you want, you can come over here and look. To take pictures, I'd have to take pictures, but I can, if you want, I can go down here and keep on going. Mind your business stuff. And literally, the person who's over here, they don't. I've been over in this area before, but it is what it is. Um, we might have to move literally from one place right over here to getting off the property, whatever. Right. Um, we'll see. Here, let me just go ahead and talk to the person, whatever. So, anyways, I'm back. I'm sorry. So, just wanted to make sure. Have people coming out talking about I'm trying to take pictures or do something or whatever. And I guess that's what they're supposed to do, whatever. Had to have the guy make sure he talked to the guy that doesn't look like us, so that the guy that doesn't look like us told him that I was all right. Anyways, where was I at though? Minding our own business. So we got to be in a place, and how you doing, Sister Rebecca or Beck? So we got to be in a place to where we are about our business, and those that are around us, right? And those that are around us, we have to be in a position to ensure that we are about what? Minding our own business, and those around us can, in fact, be worthy of minding that business, right? Those around us, thank you, Sister Nadine, appreciate you. Those around us, right? Um, you have to make sure that you are in a position, right? You have to make sure you're in a position to where what? To where those around you are about your business. So here's one of the things that you need to check in your personal walk and in your life. Are those around you about your business? Are they invested in your business? How you doing, Big Brother Thomas? Right? Are those around you? Yeah, amen, Sister Monica. I'm all right. I appreciate it. And uh, thank you for the stuff you do behind the scenes. I appreciate you. Right? So those around us, we have to ask ourselves, are they dedicated to what is your business? Are they in fact dedicated to your business? Are they in fact going to give the effort and energy to supporting your business and supporting your life? If they're not willing to do that for you, then they're not worthy of your time. I won't say no time, but not some of you are giving people extreme amounts of time who would not give it back to you because they don't see any they do not see any glory for themselves, or possibly they do not see any payment, or they do not see the possibility that what has been put on your life can come to fruition. How you doing, Brother Aaron? So you have to ask yourself, who is my right? This is why your Hushfest said it like this. They asked him, they said, hey, or they told him, your mother and your brothers and sisters and stuff, they're over there to see. And he said, who is my mother? Who's my brethren? Who's my brother? Who's my sister? He said, I'm sent to do the will of Yah. Now, obviously him and his mother were cool, but he was making a point to say, hey, don't trip and stuff. Like, you see, I'm out here doing XYZ, right? Like be careful. You said they become a liability. They can be, right? Like it becomes like even in something as simple as this. How many brothers do we know, and sisters as well, if we be honest, that end up doing jail time because you holding somebody's bag? Something was in the bag that you didn't know was in the bag, or somebody was in the car and they had something and you didn't know was in the car. Next thing you know, you get pulled over, and now a police officer all of a sudden is going to act like they got, they first of all, you should know what, you don't have to consent to a search, right? If they have that probable cause. But let's say somebody isn't aware of that, or for some reason there's probable cause. Now all of a sudden they're searching your vehicle and they find something in your vehicle that isn't even yours, but you had a so-called friend, right? This friend is nice. This friend makes you laugh, but this friend is a liability. Why? Because obviously they're not as invested in your business or your life as you are. Right? This happens many a time. This happens quite often, where we have people that hang out with us that are more liability than they are friend. Right? How you doing, Sister Iska? Right? We have a lot of people that if we're not careful, they hang around. This is why you have to know inner circle, outer circle, who's on the outskirts, who's somebody who could become inner circle. Do you have somebody that's inner circle that maybe should not be? Some people have people that are in their lives that pray more against you than they pray for you, but they don't say it out loud. And so since you don't ever check and look at things and look at habits and look at effort and look at energy and look at what they say and look at how they look and look at when they show up, you don't think about those things. So what happens is they become part of your inner circle quick. It's happened with me before, if I'll be honest. Right? It has happened with me before, and when it's happened before, it's because you're not even thinking. You would think to yourself, why would this person? This person's family. This person's a friend. I've known this person since I was little. We knew each other in the island. We knew each other from Africa. We knew each other from the plantation. We knew each other from prison. We came up together. We were in church together. This was my pastor. This is my number one. This was my XO. This is my CEO. This is yeah, and then they do you wrong, and then you say, "How could you?" But we never thought about just because that person smiles in our face doesn't mean that that person is not a liability. The OJ's told you that, right? They smile in your face, right? But we don't think about it because all we do. And by the way, people can change, just like people can change for the positive. Somebody can change for the negative, right? I hope I'm not. I'm not. It is not my intent, by the way. I'm not sent tonight to try and get everybody to say I'm going to get rid of all my friends and family. That's not what the conversation is tonight. I promise it's not. And thank you for everybody once again being on Clapper, on YouTube, on TikTok. We appreciate you, right? I'm not. I'm not here to tell you get rid of everybody. How you doing, J2X? I'm not here to say get rid of everybody. No, what I'm trying to help you to say is that people change, and so you need to watch and be aware, right? All these people that you talk about who are preachers, not everybody, far from it. It's a far cry from what people think. People think you become a preacher, right? Because you got a lot of preachers that be wilding out. So people say, yeah, even looking at condescending tones, right? So a lot of people go, oh, preachers, they just want to make money, blah, blah. And all they do is do, even though there's a lot of them that do that, might I give you a little secret? Maybe it's not a secret, but let me just, maybe some people aren't aware of this. Actually, it's very rare that somebody becomes a preacher to try and finesse you. It happens, but it's very rare. A lot of people are genuine. They genuinely believe in what they preach. They genuinely believe that people are awesome. They genuinely believe that they would do it for free. Matter of fact, they do it for free for a long time. But man, oh man, because character is not developed for the business they've gotten into, what happens is now when character needs to show up, when love needs to show up, when outright belief and warmth and growth in the Most High, right, needs to show up, because those things were not developed, even though they meant to do things in a righteous fashion, because they did not have the character for it. When it's time to mind the business of things of Yah, they cannot do it, right? See, so when it comes time to mind your business, right? You have to see who's around you, who's minding your business. Because I promise you, here's another thing: if you won't mind your business, somebody else will. If you don't have a mindset for Yah, or you don't have a mindset for yourself, somebody else will. Oh, come on, somebody! Right? This is real talk. If you don't have a vision plan and a mission plan when the times are tough, right? When I was sitting there before, and everything that I had that I owned was in a duffel bag and a book bag, and that's it. At that time, I can't have just everybody around. But I better have a vision. I better have a vision plan. I better write out the vision that Yah has and make it plain upon the tablets, right? And anybody who comes along with it, I'm gonna show them the vision. And if they can't get the vision, then we might need to part ways, at least in this season. I'm not saying I won't help them to discover some things, but in that moment in time, I don't have time to have somebody who's going to argue with me about every single thing, right? I don't have the capital to make sure that I pay this and pay this and pay this and pay this. I don't have, like, in that place that I'm in, I need whoever's there, I need to make sure that they can handle this vision. And once again, it's called a vision for a reason. It's a vision because I'm talking about what you can see. Now, I need to make sure that I make it plain enough for them to see it clearly in the spirit. But if I've shown you what the spirit says and you still have an issue, right, then this is not for you. And it's no problem. It's nothing against you. It doesn't mean we can't ever say hello. It doesn't mean we can't hang out, but we can only hang out in certain places. You're not going to hang out and where I'm headed, because I need people that are around that are mission and vision oriented. How you doing, Minister Shante? I need you to be mission and vision oriented, right? You need to start saying, see, part of the thing that we have is that when it comes to your business plan or your mission plan or your vision plan or your vision statement or what you're telling people, right? Some people say, I don't say anything to anybody because you got to be careful what you say. Some of you, is not the problem that people know your business. The problem is they know your business but don't know your vision statement. You have not made it clear enough to where somebody coming in who might have something to add to it to make it go higher, they can't use what? Vision. So that's why you make a vision board. You can physically see it. Yeah, Salah. Ama. Is it that? So we have to be careful, because I know sometimes we'll be like, I tell everybody in my family, I tell everybody at my job, I tell everybody at my church, I tell everybody in my camp, I tell my wife and she don't listen, I tell my husband and he don't get it, I tell this person, I tell my children, I tell my mother, I tell my father. Okay, cool, right? But how do you write out the vision? How do you make it plain upon the tablets? How you doing, brother TJ? Was literally just thinking about you. How you doing, Rosemary? Thanks for being on. How do you? So, do you season your words properly, where people can actually see it or receive it? Can people hear what you have to say, or do you come off in such a manner where it's tough? I'm not saying don't tell them the truth, but do you have any kind of seasoning? Unseasoned food in our diaspora is pretty crazy, right? Unless you're talking about just eating something straight off the vine or eating something as it grows, right? For the most part, if somebody gonna make something with fufu is unseasoned because you're supposed to dip the fufu in something with some seasoning, right? Don't give me peanut stew and it's not seasoned. Don't give me jollof rice and it's not seasoned. Don't give me call it jerk chicken and there's no seasoning, right? It can't be jerked if there ain't no season. You see what I'm saying? Right? Don't tell me it's rice and beans, right? Or rice and pea, or rice and pea, or rice and beans, right? Or any of the stuff that you're doing, and don't have me up here talking about stuff and there's no seasoning. But your words might be unseasoned. So it might be difficult for me to taste and see that Yah is awesome, right? That he is Yassam, if you will, right? That it might be difficult for me to taste and see how righteous and how great he is if you do not have the ability to season your words properly. It's hard for me to digest somebody's vision if everything in the vision is you telling me why you better get yourself together and this and that. I heard something crazy where, and I'm not going to say names, but I heard something crazy through one of our members, one of our family, SOC family, that they were listening to somebody and they were telling me about this person who was kind of going off on somebody, and the person was just being respectful, asking questions. They were kind of ignorant in things, but they were like, I'm here to learn this and that. And the person was like, yeah, you better make sure that you teach everybody in your family, and you don't know this, and now you're better for knowing it, and you have this and that. And I'm like, the way they were coming off, I'm like, look, should you teach everybody in your family? Sure. But the way they were saying it, I was shocked. I was like, this person is not necessarily part of our community, but they're somebody who's friendly with it. And I was shocked. I was like, I would have never thought that so-and-so would have said that. Right. But once again, I don't know them like that. They're not in my inner circle. So here you are, you're giving a righteous word that's supposed to taste righteous, but is not seasoned. Right? You're giving a righteous word, but it's not seasoned. So somebody can't take it, right? There's nutrients in the French fries, but there's somebody out there that need that fry to at least be in some oil and have some salt on it. Now, I'm not saying that's the best eating. I'm just saying it's gonna be really difficult. Some people need some salt and pepper. Somebody out there needs some ketchup or something. But you just sitting up there talking about how you doing, Cole. Somebody just talk, right? You say you like a lot of spicy foods. Yeah. Somebody out there, they need that to be seasoned. Do you not know that everybody's palate is not the same? So how can somebody taste your vision, so to speak, right? And they can make sure that they can see that it's righteous and they can see that it's greater than what it is, and you're not even making it appealing. Then this is where we get the thing. Well, his word doesn't have to be appealing. What, you want me to dress it up for everybody? I didn't say dress it up. I said season it. Does the word of Yah say that you got to make sure that there's seasoning on your words? Did I make that up? Right? Read your Bible. It'll bless you. It's in there. I didn't make that up. You say you believe in this Bible. This Bible says season your words. You're supposed to be seasoned, or you're supposed to be seasoning. Come on now. You're supposed to show up and be the salt of the earth. What greatness is there to the salt if it loses its savor? That means if the salt, a lot of people aren't used to this, but salt actually has an expiration date. Anything that's natural usually has an expiration date. So salt has an expiration date. So if you don't use the salt in time, then it's not going to do anything. Salt is not only seasoning to make sure that it tastes better, but salt is also something that you need as far as retaining water. Believe it or not, it doesn't just make you thirsty. Salt actually helps you to retain water. Salt actually helps you to clear out parasites and things like that as well. Salt purifies and cleanses. Salt also preserves. Salt is also preserves. So Yah has a word for a season, and he's caused you to be the seasoning to preserve this word, and yet you got into a place to where now you're trying to use your gift and the time is up. See, in business, you got to even know when to use it. When you cooking that meal, you have to know, when do I season the food, right? There's times that you season it and times you don't. There's some things you season after you've made it. There's some seasons you season while you're doing it. For example, if I've got a bunch of, children I'm cooking for, right? I've done this before. If you got a bunch of children that you're cooking for, you start cooking for the children, And maybe some children, they want it spicy, some children like it salty, some children might want the black, black pepper and salt, some children want this, that, whatever. Somebody might want the cayenne pepper experience, whatever the case might be. So I would not season that particular dish with all of those things, knowing that every child might need to be able to get what they need out of it. So what do? So I say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure that I cook everything thoroughly through, and then I'm going to allow them to season the food. If they're not capable of doing it at their age, whatever the case might be, or the way that it needs to taste itself for them to get what I'm cooking, then I might season it for each and every one of them. But I will season it differently for every person. Why? Because everybody has a different personality, right? And if they're going to be about the business of eating this meal, it'll go a lot better if I make sure it's seasoned different. That's the love that I have for my child. That's the love that Amma has for her family. When she makes a meal, she knows Kofi likes it really spicy, so she's gonna bring out the really, really heavy hitting spicy stuff. She knows that Solomon will say he likes something spicy, and sometimes he does, and sometimes he doesn't. He'll say he doesn't want something spicy, but then he wants to have the spicy stuff sometimes. So she, even out of relationship with her own son, recognizes and realizes what's going to happen and what he actually means, even if he's not saying it correctly, even if he doesn't recognize what she's making. It's her responsibility to make sure that it's seasoned to him. Why? Because she's his mother. And as much as he might be telling her this, that, or whatever, she knows her son sometimes better. I'd say almost all the time, but sometimes better than he knows his own self. Now, how you doing, Ian? Thanks for being part of the community, right? Seasoning in your business, in your life, in your relationships, are they seasoned? What season is your spouse in right now? It could make all the difference if you knew. What season is your spouse in right now? Where are they growing right now? What season is your child in right now? It could make all the difference when you try to explain something to them. Are they in the season of doubt? Because you might want to make sure that you explain things to them while building them up. Because if not, they still will get it. They'll comprehend what you're saying, but they'll doubt that they're able to do it. So while you tell them what to do, gird them up. Exhortation, encourage them, right? What season are you in? Because you might be going off on people. Can I be honest? This is me. Sometimes this happens. Maybe this never happened to you. This is just me. I'll raise my hand. You might be going through a season where it feels like you're going off on everybody and everything, and don't recognize that you're in a season of depression, or you're in a season of anxiety, and you need to make it through this season before there's certain things that you do or say. There's seasons I've had to sit myself down and not preach because I had to get myself together. Somebody goes, Pastor Kofi, we wanted you to preach. We missed you for that week. We missed you for, yeah, I appreciate it. But and sometimes I'm not even supposed to tell everybody. Y'all might just say, sit your behind down. And it's not even for everybody to know. And if it means that people get mad or frustrated by it, this hasn't happened recently. I'm just saying this has happened in times past. And people be all upset and frustrated by it. And you didn't tell us this and blah, blah. Well, this is the season I'm in life. The season I'm in, right? I need to get myself together. So I had to sit myself down. Right? In times past, I've had issues with pornography that were so bad that I'm sitting up there preaching about marriage and doing all this stuff from a pulpit, and I'm spending 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in front of a screen, whether I'm doing something to myself or not, caught up in lust. Sit down. You see what I'm saying? I recognize the season, and I recognize I can't be about my father's business right now, and I'm still dealing in this thing. Right? How you doing, Sister Judy? You see what I'm saying? So you've got to recognize and realize what season I'm in. There's some people who are trying to help you with your business, and they can't mind your business because you haven't minded the business of change and of making sure that you're in righteousness. Did you catch that? It's going to be difficult for people to help you in where you're going because some of you haven't even recognized where you are. Or some of you try to present, you try to front, if we could say it the way we used to just say it, right? We used to just say you fronting, but you try to present something that you're not. It's all right for you if this is the season of not having, then go ahead and make it the season of not having, the season of lack. Oh, I never lack. I'm never in the season of lack. I never speak up. Do you not have in your life right now? Because if you would admit that you don't have, there might be somebody out there that says, I'll take care of you. There just might be somebody who's in the season of prosperity. What you think prosperity is, you think that prosperity is money, right? It's not always money, but nevertheless, somebody, let's not even call it prosperity, because I don't like people to get that out of hand. So somebody's in the season of financial blessing. You're in the season of financial lack. The word of Yah says the poor will be with you always. And it even says that when somebody has, they should leave 10% from somebody else. Somebody's ready to sow 10% of what they have, the blessing, into your life, to make sure that somebody gets it before they start using stuff for their own, because they know the word, and they know that the word says that they need to give to the community before they start spending on themselves. And they're looking for somebody, but nobody will admit, I need help. I've talked about this before. Was going to a church, and everybody saw I was doing as a single father, 3 children, taking them everywhere, going to classes and stuff, having to have them pick them up from school. Couldn't afford the laundromat, taking all clothes wherever I was, sometimes changing them into other clothes, taking their school clothes off so I can keep them as clean as possible. Then every once in a while I have to make sure that I wash them in the tub, right? Stirring it up, agitating the water, seeing that it's dirty and muddy and all that, then having to clean the tub as much as I can, trying my best to get the rings out so they can take a bath or a shower, whatever age they were, and all that, and not being disgusting and stuff and all that stuff, not eating myself, and making sure with a couple dollars I had that they could go in their bellies, so at least even though their bellies weren't full, they could make it until they got free lunch or something like that. And here I am doing Yah's work, being in his will, going out while they're at school, going to a little class myself, then going out, giving out free food and free clothes and all this stuff, sowing into community. Somebody sees it, they say, Pastor Kofi, I want to bless you with something. They want to give me food. They want to give me $20. They want to give stuff because they see the babies need help. The babies aren't looking raggedy, but the babies need help. And it's right. And every time they want to help me, what do I say to them? Well, don't worry about it. Yah's great. Yah's got it. God is good. I don't need, and I'm struggling. Yah has sent me, that old story. There's a man, the ship capsizes and falls into the sea. He's out in the water, and he prays to the Most High and then he trusts that Yah's going to save me. Yah's going to save me. Somebody shows up, and they're on a speedboat. They say, man, I can't really get you up or whatever, but I can get somebody to get you whatever. He says, no, don't worry about it. Y'all save me. But I can just help you. No, y'all save me. Okay. Somebody else comes later on, and they come right, and they're on a fishing boat, right? And they're in a little fishing boat or whatever. They come by. Oh man, you know what? You need some help. Come on in the boat. No, don't worry about it. Y'all save me. Treading water still. Y'all save me. Right now they get into a place where it's getting kind of rough and tough. They've been out there for about an hour. They're blessed where they haven't been eaten by a shark or something crazy like that. But they're out there trying their best to make it. And then all of a sudden somebody comes, and this time they come on they come with a tugboat. We got plenty of room up here. You come on. No, y'all save me. Person ends up drowning. Get up to heaven, get up to Shamayam. And they look Yah in the face and they say, Yah, what happened? I was waiting for you to save me. Yah says, you fool. I sent right. I sent the speeder, right? I sent the speeder. I sent the fishing boat, and I sent a tugboat. Right, Yah literally will be trying to say, but we're so about the business of looking holy and the business of going from miracle to miracle that we don't even think about the fact that he'll use a human being. I used to be that person, or I'm drowning, but Yah will save me. I used to be that person where I'm having a tough time, but Yah will save me. I used to be that person. I'm gonna give my life to get, but Yah will save me. You see what I'm saying? I used to be that. And I had to come out of that and realize, wait a minute, it's all right for me to admit that maybe this is a season where I need help. I'm getting to that place now, to be honest with you, because I've been trying to act like I don't need stuff, and we're all right. You know what I'm saying? But I won't admit sometimes I need help. I got mental health issues. I need somebody to talk to. I got stuff sometimes I got to say, hey, I might be struggling. I got stuff going on where sometimes I might have to come to my wife and be like, babe, I need to cry in your arms today. I need to be a little boy. I need to be 5-year-old Kofi right now. I got a boo-boo. And I need you to to give me that type of love. I need to admit that maybe I'm lashing out a little bit. Can I be transparent with y'all? I've been I've been a little nippy. I've been a little like getting on stuff, argumentative, frustrated, and it's because I just sometimes it's hard to recall. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that in the business that we're in, other people are there to help you with your business. In the calling that I have, other people want to lift you up too. And it's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right to admit that I can't do this without help. And even though I keep saying it, I'm so used to having to do it without help that it's hard for me to admit I still can't do it without help because I had to do it most of my life. I'm not saying I didn't have great parents, but I still had to do stuff without help, right? I had a father that took care of us. I'm not saying that he didn't, but I'm saying there's some things I did without help. As a matter of fact, part of my childhood, and I wouldn't take any of it back for the world. Do you hear me? I wouldn't take any of it back for the world. And this is gonna sound well. I don't want to sound crazy. Y'all forgive me if this is off, but I'm just telling you where my flesh is. If y'all told me I had a choice of not doing what I did, as far as making sure that part of my childhood development was making sure I took care of my mother, I would ask y'all to not change a thing, right? So I want you to know I'm not mad about certain things, right? I'm not frustrated. I'm not saying this stuff. It was a blessing for me to take care of my mother. You hear me? And my sister to take care of my mother. And for me to learn a lot of responsibility like that. It helped my heart. That being said, though, I still have a lot of stuff in me that's so used to helping everybody else before me that I will become raggedy sometimes before I admit I need help. You see what I'm saying? And if we're minding our own business and nobody else knows our business, what's the point of allowing people to be around? If we're in a situation, hear me, family. I'm not putting this out to be like only worry about me, right? I'm putting this out because somebody needs to hear this. There's somebody listening. I don't care if you listen to this now, if you watch this later on in the recording. Hear me, family. There's somebody who's ready to help you. If you would admit that you need help, there's somebody out there who needs help. If you would admit that you can help them, there's somebody out there that needs your business to, pun intended, to bloom and flourish. Because if they don't get something from you, they're not going to make it. Right? There's somebody out there who needs, look, as much as you don't think it is, there's somebody that needs you to start searching and putting your gift out and making sure that people are aware that you provide what you provide. Because if you don't do so, they're not going to make it. And some of them won't admit that they need it. Be led by the Spirit, of course, in everything that you do. But somebody won't admit that they need you to be what they've never had. Somebody won't admit to you that they want to be a wife, but they've never seen it. And if you would just be one in front of them, the Bible says that it's the elder women that are supposed to teach. The elder wives are supposed to teach the younger wives, right? And by the way, elder can even be to the point to where, look, somebody, if you got 25 years in marriage and somebody only got 2 years in marriage, that person is 60, but they only got 2 years in marriage. Um, here you are, 45, but you got 25 years of marriage. You the elder. You might need to teach them some things about what it is to be a wife. Here it is that you got a young brother who's trying to be on the come up and trying to teach and trying to grow and trying to learn, right? He don't know nothing about being a man yet. I don't care if he's 45. If you 55 and he 45, you have something to give him. Part of the reason why people get depressed is because you start believing you have nothing to give and that you feel rejected. You feel like you can't, you keep trying to present yourself and everybody won't let you in the clique. There's somebody out there that wants to join you, that wants you to provide something for them. I know there's somebody out there that's saying there's no woman out there that'll take me. I can't make with so much money. I'm just living off minimum wage. I'm barely making it. I'm always somebody's roommate. There's somebody out there that respects the fact that you keep hustling and that you haven't given up. She exists. Don't give up, right? Keep preparing yourself and keep growing and keep loving, because there's a sister out there that's not waiting for you to come on, be on the glow up. She'll love you on the come up. Did you hear what I'm saying? There's a sister out there that she's not going, she will love you on the come up, not after the glow up. Do you hear what I'm saying? There's a brother out there. All these brothers talking about she ain't got this and she's not great and she blah blah and she got too many children and she not a value. Do you not know that there's a brother? I'm gonna tell you something as raunchy as this gonna sound. Please forgive me if there's babies on here. Have them look the other way. To put headphones on them or something real quick, right? Just for righteousness purposes only. It's for educational purposes only. Look, sister, as long as you got a vagina, there's a man out there that's ready to take care of you. I know that sounds raunchy, but I just need you to know because there's brothers out there that will tell you you are valued, you have no value. They'll use your vagina, but they won't take care of you. And then they'll say it's because you have no value. But if you had no value, they wouldn't have gone between your legs in the first place. I'm just trying to help you out. There's a brother out there that doesn't care what the world says about you. Somebody saying you're too old, you're too ugly, you got too many babies, you don't make enough, you're not submissive enough, you're not black enough, you're not white enough, you're not this enough. There's a man out there who wants to love you because you are a wife. Do you hear what I'm saying? And look, can I give a little something? He's got to be about this business. He's about his father's business. It's his heart. And hello, Sister Sheriff. I didn't say so earlier. I feel like I didn't. Please forgive me. It's his heart. If he has a heart to give, can I give you a little secret? I don't care if he's rich or poor. Look for, or if he in between. He needs to have a heart to give. Because you can get with a rich man that won't give you $5, and a rich man that will give you just enough to lay down with you. And once he gets that, what else do he need to give you? It will only give you things to string you along as long as you what? Submit to him and not submit to a mission, right? But there's a brother out there that's got no money but has a heart to give. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Do you hear what I'm saying? He'll give you the shirt off his back. And he'll work hard to make sure that he can buy 2 shirts, and then he'll still give you one of the shirts and wear the other one. And then he'll work hard to get 3 shirts, and if you need 2 of the shirts, he'll keep one of them, and he'll work hard to get 4 of them next time, right? Because he has a heart to give. What little he has is yours. That means the more he makes, the more he'll give. To the point to where you'll start saying to him, baby, your presence is enough because you gave me the shirt off your back. You see what happened? Right? But instead, what you've been taught, look for him on the glow up, not on the come up. Everybody wants you on the glow up. Not everybody can be with you on the come up. Not everybody sees who you are, right? When you're nothing. Muhammad Ali used to say, I don't care how you treat me. I watch to see how you treat the waiter. Why? Because the waiter is the one that you can say is just a servant. They're just here to wait on you. To wait means to serve. So the server or the waiter. And a lot of people treat the waiter with disdain because they think the waiter is just nothing and nobody would ever, waiter, snap at him, come on over here, right? Treat him like nothing. And then ask for a tip and be the foolish people that be like, here's a little tip for you. Next time be faster when I sit, right? How you treat them, I'm more concerned about that than how you treat me. If you think that I'm anything in your life, or if you think that I'm some kind of B-list, F-list, celebrity, whatever. I'm right. I'm more concerned about that. How you treat somebody. Sometimes I'm more concerned about how you treat the nobody than how you treat your pastor. The nobody than how you treat your spouse. You should always treat your spouse with respect, but the nobody. See, I find out the business of your heart. That's why Yah says I need to send pastors after my own love, my own heart. I'm done with just sending people who went to school, right? We done with that. Because that ain't getting it done. We done with people who just go to school and get got all the titles and everything and got more degrees than a thermometer, but don't know how to love you enough to make sure that you eat food. Don't know how to love you. Got a church that makes $10 million a week and don't know how to make sure when somebody passes away, well, we won't pay for their funeral because they stopped tithing for the last 6 months. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you, I've been the person whose family of preachers have had to come together and be like, what favors can we put in with people that we know where somebody will make sure bare minimum the body gets turned to ashes, so at least even if they can't afford to bury him, they can keep the ashes and dump it somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So just be careful. Know about the business that he's about in his heart. If he has a heart to give, I promise you, if he'll give you the shirt off his back now, watch what happens when he got $10,000 a week coming in. If he'll give you the shirt off his back now, watch what happens when he gets 2 houses. Right? If he'll give you the shirt off his back now, watch what happens when he takes care of you and your babies. Look for somebody that's got the heart to give, because that heart will increase as their wealth increases. Matter of fact, the heart, well, I'll even say the heart increases because the heart will increase as far as they'll have more. See, somebody who's heartless, when they get more money, they're heartless. See, a lot of times you get with the guy and the guy's poor, and then the guy gets some money and you go, oh man, he's a jerk. Like that money made him a jerk. No, he was always a jerk. But you never asked about Yah in his heart, because Yah can read the heart. You can't. You never had questions that deal with his heart, his passion. So then he got some money and you said, I can't believe he treated me that way. He always treated you that way. At least he treated you that way as far as this. There's a saying that sisters be saying, and there's truth to it, but they'll say, a man will only do as much as you'll allow him to. I'm here to tell you that a man will only do as much as the situation allows his heart to show. A man will only show you what his heart has the opportunity to show. When he poor, you the only thing he got, he probably treat you with respect. Because his heart is, well, I got to make sure I take care of me. She the only one that's there. She the only one that really love me. She do stuff in the bedroom, blah, blah, whatever, right? Go ahead and get that same man $500,000 a year. See how he treats you. I can't believe he did it. His heart was never righteous. And if you paid attention, you probably saw it. You probably saw it. You said sometimes not even, there are plenty of a-holes. Hey, true. So mind your business. Mind your own business. And those who are in your business with you, make sure they are about your business. Make sure they're about your business. Make sure that they'll lift you up your arms when you need the sun to stay up. Make sure they're about your business. If they're not about your business and you guys don't have the same business, you're going to have problems. Aman? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Got to get on the road, get back to the house. Prayerfully, things will continue. If you have SOC University, we did a class tonight, so please check that out when you have the opportunity. We'll try to have some other stuff on Patreon to make up for you. We put several videos out on TikTok, Kofi_43, so you should have that. And yeah, so we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We'll be doubling up again. So tomorrow we'll talk about motherlessness and fatherlessness on the live session and the Rising on Kofi_43 out on YouTube, and prayerfully later on Clapper, on Facebook, and on the podcast as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys then. Thank you so much. We'll be having this Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern New York time. We will be on Clapper. We'll do a brief SOC meeting on Clapper to start us off, and then we'll go straight into our watch party for the second installment of Lord of the Rings, to kind of continue with that mythology watch party thing we've been doing. We took last Saturday off because we had to take care of some business, but hopefully we'll see you guys very soon. But if you missed it, and how you doing, Cotton, just feel free to jump on over to YouTube when you get a chance. Recordings on there for you. But thank you all. We appreciate you. We honor the royalty in each and every one of you. Even if you're not living inside that royalty, as of yet, we appreciate the potential royalty that is in each and every one of you, that you shall be able to make sure you live inside of. Thank you again for being on. And thank you for spending some time with us. We give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our praise and honor to Him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A and D, the letter N. Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Thank you, everybody, for being on. As always, this has been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being the voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, as always, that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, in you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, family, peace, and we'll see you tomorrow, prayerfully, in the rising. Take care, be safe if you're on the road, and thank you again for all your prayers and everything. We'll talk to you guys soon.